All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming with a little something, not long. Um, I want to talk about what is going on. Um, there's many things taking place right now, and these are things that's not shocking and not strange and unusual. No, these are things that the servants of the Most High Yah was warned of from within. You see, you're not warned of these things to come from the outer side. You're warned of these things from the inside. And that means a place that is spiritual. You see, he comes to give you the warning that surrounds what is spirit and truth, that surrounds the light shining on the warning of darkness and what is actually taking place. In a sense of what my topic is going to cover, and is what is going on. Even though I'm going to talk about what is going on, believe me, I am sure, fully aware no one cares. No one cares less. People are so wrapped up in themselves, they could care less if things are going left from right, or if things are going right from left, or if things are going from dark to darkness, or if things are going from light to darkness. They could care less. The heart of people is exactly where Yah knew that it would be in this day. There is many things taking place, in the spirit brought it to me earlier today when I was out and about. But when I got home, I was on YouTube and I saw my sister. She was doing a video live, and I decided to listen in on her message, and it was a pretty good message. But what got me about the message, before I went live, before I came home, my whole idea was to go live today at 8 p.m. Central Time. But when I got home and I sat down and cut on my laptop and went to YouTube, I realized that my sister had gotten on and did a video live. So I didn't want to go on live, right after she had gone, because I didn't want it to appear to be counteracting or anything like that. So I took my live down, and I said, okay, I go live maybe tomorrow. But I'm here now, and I was listening to the message of what my sister was speaking on, and I said to myself, she has no idea the characteristic of the Most High Yah. The main characteristic of the Creator is to give. That's one of his characteristics, is giving. That's just who he is. You know how a lot of people say, oh, he's love. Oh, he's grace and mercy. Oh, he's goodness. He's all of these things. But none of those things can override the spirit of his characteristic self, is to give. Because it's nothing on this earth that he have not given. That in itself closed the book. His characteristic is to give. And then when you hear him say, and he's so loved that he gave. Wait a minute, hold up. People don't even understand. Christ came onto the earth as something that was given to bring us back home. And as she was speaking, and the things she was saying was so 100, and an instance with a quicken. The father was saying to me, it's identical to the way they give is the way they give unto him. And what he means is their spirit is limited to him. because they give only partial of themselves, because they understand not that he is giving gave. Okay, so they don't know how to match the characteristic of who he is. So they mimic his characteristics. They try to appear or look like, or what he say, appear to be holy. They try to mimic who he is without even knowing that his number one characteristic is give and giving and gave. Nothing you will see on the earth came here because it just come from out of nowhere. Now the world believes that. The whole world believes that. But I, Sister Deborah, know that everything that is and was and shall be was already. But it was given by the right hand power of who he is. Yah is give and gave. Okay, that's his main characteristic of himself. I'm gonna set an example, and I feel in my spirit is trying to tell me, bring that side by side, Deborah. Bring that right, park that right on the side, and that is the spirit of who we are. When he blew in us an individual spirit, right here today, 99.15 trillion have no idea that it was the spirit first before it was the flesh. They have no idea the judgment is not on the flesh, it's on the spirit. They have no idea the spirit is the characteristic of how you conduct your flesh. They have no idea why he say, no, this is not flesh and blood. This thing is spirit. Because they still don't know. It's no matter how many times you tell them, they still ain't gonna know. So he's saying, pull that up side by side, Deborah. All these thousands of years that this earth exists, people still have not tapped in to the spirit of what things are about. He tried to explain it through his servants that the battle is not the flesh and blood. Hate is not the flesh and blood. Evil and wicked is not the flesh and blood. It is who you are in your spirit. It's your true characteristic is who you are. So when he's saying, Deborah, put it side by side. Side by side means to show you how you never knew that Yah's characteristic was given gave, like in two, you never knew that the spirit that he blew in you to have your own private spirit was the only thing heaven's going to deal with and has dealt with. Whether it's in the lake of fire or whether it's going to eternal life, it was dealt with from the kingdom before it hit the earth. So even though the world never, the pastors, the bishops, the priests, the evangelists, the prophet, the prophetess, the Maureen, the seers, the watchmen, apostles, no one taught you. Let me move this here out the way. No one taught you. Let me get this off here. It's covering my. No one taught you all. Like he said, put it beside who I am. They never were taught that he was given gave. You made Yah everything outside of who he is. That's why it has been always a stumbling block for people to try to match who their spiritual heart is with the Creator, because they try to level him in the area of like unto their flesh. He don't deal with your flesh. Your flesh is mimicking your spirit that came down here. That's why you can't get it right. Because you're being who you are for eternal. You see, and it's the spirit. And he's saying when you put it side by side, that shows you. They never knew who I was. and they know not who they were themselves. You knew not that you was a spirit, because the world taught you that your flesh was big and bad, that your flesh was all it is, all it was, all it's going to be. You see how messed up from deep down in the floor up that people are today? It's because they was messed up yesterday. So when even you hear he say, this is the battle is not in the flesh, he's letting you know right here today. It always been in the spirit, because man never did. The priests, the pastors, the bishops, the apostles, the prophets, the Mories, the seers, the evangelists, the watchers. No one taught you all that it was the spirit. They taught you all about your flesh. Even to today, year 2025, everybody weighs everything according to their flesh. Look at all these years then gone by. People don't even know they have a spirit. People have no idea they have a spirit, nor do they care. Like unto what he say, put it side by side. People know not that he is giving gain. That his main characteristic, he wants me to tell you, while you're running and jumping and hiding and flying and diving all over the place trying to get the name right, you can't get nothing right. If you living up under the way the flesh think it, feel it, comprehend it, and understand it, it has to route the understanding of the flesh. It has to comprehend under the spirit. It has to have the spiritual wisdom, the spiritual knowledge, and the spiritual understanding. So this is where people are at. It's the same reason he was saying as the prophetess was giving her message today. Same thing. This is what he was saying. He said, they never knew my characteristic is give. So they couldn't mimic me in that way. Even to today, when I was off a cuckoo clock talking about, wait a minute, they can't be putting mammon with the Father. Oh, yes, they can. Oh, yes, they can. Because it takes away their ability to understand what he is consist of. Give and gain. So when they think they matching him, you ain't matching him, baby. I don't care what holy roly you walk in, talk in, act in. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care what rock you feel you got. It still doesn't match his characteristics of who he is. You see, and he is give and gave. And reason why it's so hard today is because they didn't learn it yesterday. They didn't learn what, Deborah? Really, who he is and who he was and who he shall be. It's all wrapped in what he has given and gave. So when she was teaching it, he said to me that she was teaching about, she wasn't teaching this. She just spoke about of giving somewhat. She didn't, her whole topic wasn't that. And I was just listening to what she was saying, and the spirit just told me, they never knew my characteristics, Deborah. They never knew what I stood for or who I am. When I say I am this, I am that, I am this, and I am that, I am this, I am that. That means I give myself to this, I give myself to that, I give myself to this, I give myself to that, because I am that I am. See, and they have no idea. So I sit back and I think, when he shot that to me as his characteristics, it let me know that this is a place people will never reach. They will never reach it. That's why they couldn't understand when he said, this thing is not flesh and blood. This thing is principality in high places. It's going back with what he said, put it side by side. They don't even know their spirit. They don't know their spirit, man. They just about their flesh. And this is what her message was surrounding as well, about the flesh. People measure everything based on the way they want to do it in their flesh. That's what her message was about. Even their giving is measured by their flesh. Yah is not saying for you to give crumbs and brag about the crumbs that you're giving because you gave and think he's supposed to be honoring your giving when you didn't give out of what you had, not what you don't have. You see, it's not what you want to give, it's what you by righteous supposed to give based on how much he has given you. Oh no, we're going to pick up the crumbs and drop the crumbs that falls from my table that I am I can afford to give. Because if that was the case, think of Yah. If he created everything and gave everything based on what he can afford to give, of what he want to give out of what he didn't have. No, he gave way and above, even though he had it all. But you can tell his giving is powerful because he could have given us everything. He owns it all, but you don't see us with it all. No, you don't. Why? Because he measured it according to what he wanted us to have when we come down here. Why? Because in my mind, I used to ask him, why would you have the rich and why would you have the poor? It's going to be needed. One is for the other and the other one is for the other. Not one is that because they didn't work, they didn't get this, they don't have this, they don't have this, and I'm worthy to have it. I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. Good that you have it all. What do you need Yah for? Now that you have it all. Yeah. Look at all the greed in the world today that's killing people. Greed caused people, rich caused people to kill and murder and destroy. You didn't know that, did you? And they don't even have to be rich as far as billions and millions. You can be have more than enough and walking around here like you ain't got nothing because you want to be betrayed within yourself that you have nothing, but Yah sees what you have. He don't have no problem because he allowed you to have it, but he wanted you to measure it towards your spiritual heart. But when you are not in the spirit realm, you're going to measure towards your fleshly heart. So that's about right. And that's how you would give. And this, when I'm hearing this sister, I'm listening to her and I'm listening to the Most High Yah say to me, it ain't that they don't have. It's just that they think that I'm going to take the crumbs as they give themselves to me as crumbs. So shall they give unto my servant as crumbs because they see Yah as crumbs. They don't see Yah as, okay, you didn't bless me to be able to have A, B, C, and D, these things, or have the ability or to have the funds to have these things. I got to give you that type of blessing back. Oh, no, they don't think like that. They don't think like that. They give him based on their budget of their flesh. So the sister was speaking, not even probably understanding the deepness of what she was saying. Because the truth be told, if we're going to come on this devil platform and talk anything about Yah, we got to tell it by spirit and truth in the light. And by spirit and truth in the light, he is give and gain. Because ain't nothing on this earth that he didn't give. Come on. Nothing. Not even the ground. The dirt was given to us. The earth, the breed was given to us. You see? And for us to erase the fact that we weren't supposed to be anything like him. We're supposed to be the opposite. If he's giving gain, well, we are the ones that just throw out whatever. And people feel so proud-minded when they give. They think that they are really giving something. They really think that they are up there because I'm giving. You're not giving if you're not giving according to what you have. What you want to spend and push and what you want to give out of your flesh. So I understood her message 100%. So I salute her for coming out with that because it is so true what she was saying. That's how everybody do everything. They want to base it on their flesh. Like she said, I'm just going to cut it right there. They think that they can deal with Yah at the level of their flesh. And that we can throw the crumbs that we throw to him anyway, we can throw them to his servant at that same measurement. But the problem I wanted to speak on was I had this situation where the father allowed someone to come into my home and spend about a week there, and we just went and done a lot of things. When they left, they gave me a donation. And the spirit kept saying to me, they're not going to give you what I told them to give you. They're going to give you what pleases them. When he said that, that's why I told the sister today in my message that if she only knew, one day I would tell her, when the spirit spoke that to me, it just done something to me. What he's saying is people are not who they portray to be because they think that they can throw out crumbs when he know what he has allowed them to have. Look at the rich people. People who are not even rich but have the ability to make a difference. Guess what? They do the same thing the rich people do. They wouldn't give to anybody because they believe that on the earth, what they have was only meant for them and theirs. But like she was saying, they need to stop trying to play like they have the Ruach HaKodesh and they are holy than now and they are the people of Yah. Yah is, I don't understand. It ain't meant for me to understand. And it's okay if I don't understand because it ain't everything I understand. But what gets me, people think that what makes them who they are is because they give. But they don't understand. Yah is measuring your giving because he knows he don't want you to give what you don't have. He don't want you to give what you feel or what you budget. No, he ain't never been that type. Because if that's the case, you wouldn't even have what you got. You see? But see, what happened, they didn't know when he created and suffered one to be rich and one to be poor, they had their proper spot. They had their proper purpose. You see? On this earth. But the same selfishness is in the rich, in the greed, in the rich. It's like that also with people who have it, but won't give it. They only want to give what they measured on their budget or measured in their heart to give. And that's okay. Because as long as you're so busy pleasing yourself and thinking y'all supposed to praise you for what you give, you're lost with a cause and without one. You're lost. So even the prophetess that was teaching the message, she had it nailed. It's all about the flesh. People giving out of their flesh and thinking that Yah is praising them and well pleased. No, he ain't. When he know what he has given you, when he know that you have the ability to give out of the right heart, not out of the heart of flesh. See, that's another thing people don't understand. You got two hearts. Which one are you working on? Which one are you walking on? Which one are you talking on? Which one are you living on? You see? So I was so grateful to hear her. And I said, I'm going to get on here. I'm going to listen to this here. And as I was listening, I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is reality. This is reality. She herself is a prophetess. But she can say the same thing I can say. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you. Being both of us are servants of the Most High God, we know this thing out here is real. But we can't. It ain't our mission to make sure and get people to see the realness of it. Y'all letting us see the realness of the people that's all portraying to be in there, and they're not. And you stop boasting yourself in what you are giving. Because Yah is not fascinated about what you're giving when he knows what you have. See, people didn't understand the lady who gave her pennies. It didn't measure if that's all she had. She gave it all. With Yah, when you're serving Yah, this is the expectation. There are people who have way more than enough. And living that lifestyle as if They're saving it for a rainy day. Or no, this is mine. I don't have to do this. And if I'm going to, I'm gonna do it this, and I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna do it this day, and this. That's all in the flesh. So to the prophet, Tis that was speaking that, not only is she correct about they giving out of the flesh, they lining up their payment based out of the flesh. They're not lining it up how Yah has lined it up to them. They're lining it up out of their flesh. And I did my part. You see? So it is a fleshly thing. Because when they came out to my house, the father was telling me that, okay, if they would have went into a hotel for 5-7 days, they would have paid up to what you more than what they gave you to come to live in your house for 7 days. He showed me all of that. He was just explaining to me they didn't give what he told them to give. They gave what they wanted. And I, Sister Deborah, would tell you that is exactly what he told me. You think I wasn't appreciative toward what they gave? I wasn't looking for anything, to be honest, but just to show them a good time. But I'm trying to say to you all, you don't run the Father. I know you think that you know him from A to Z. You don't even know him in the lineup of A. Because if you did, you will see him to be different than the way you feel in your heart. He is supposed to be and he's supposed to run. You still didn't understand that his first characteristics was what? To give and gave. So why haven't the whole world learned about this creator as a give and gave? Why haven't the whole world learned about they have a spirit that's going to stand before the throne? It's going to answer for everything they're doing in the flesh. They have not learned that. 99.9 on the earth have no idea. None whatsoever. I don't care what church, what community, what group, what nothing. They have no idea that the spirit of who they are brought down them. That's who came. It's in their flesh. The ways of their flesh is what's resting in the way of their spirit. And they have no idea. So when the Father say, put that side by side there, he's saying, this is exactly what he's saying. He said, here it is on the right side. I am the creator that has the main characteristic of giving. Put that on the left side, that everybody came down here, I gave a spirit. They still today don't know that same spirit is what's going to be judged for eternity. They don't know that. They're living out their flesh without the ideal of understanding. It's the spirit. Like unto his characteristic is give. They never learned what give was. That's why it's greed on the earth. That's why it's hate, envy, destruction. All has to do with no one wants to give and gain. Instead, they want to kill, steal, take, rob, everything that has to do with what they can only use in the flesh. That's what they want to use. They have no idea that the measurement of your spirit heart has to be willing to give according to the spiritual of he that gave his all. He ain't asked nobody to give their all, but he don't want you to be giving your budget, how you set it in line, or I want to give this day and I want to do it this way. That's because you're still in the flesh trying to arrange everything that you want to arrange according to your power of controlling. Wanting, like she said, wanting to make it like unto the flesh. You want to do the spiritual realm like unto it. Same way. Same way. And they sit in it and they content. But so much for that. Let me get to my topic. Let me get to that, because this is a waste of time. The spirit is in me and I can feel it. And this is a waste of time because he said it's the same measurement in how they treat him. The portion in which they give unto you is the same portion they give unto me. So you know they ain't gave me nothing. All right. So another thing I wanted to say is all over the world you see protests. The United Kingdom, London and France and Poland and Ireland, Australia, Nepal, the United States, Europe, Jordan for Palestinians, Jordan for Palestinians. They all out here, you guys, protesting, rioting, fighting, thousands of people. And I'm sitting here looking at this and saying, wait a minute. This is it, ain't it? The way the Spirit rolled that down to me, he said, you see all these people all over the world, you see what's going on. Only thing could happen is they want the whole system, from the government to the state to the police department to the FBI to the CIA. They got to break it out of each country so they can put a oneness, which is a one world government. You notice it didn't say a one country or a one city. It says a one world government. How do they bring that in? They got to defeat all the big dogs, all the countries, to where the ideal of a one world government is going to be the best of anything that could happen to this world. And they're going to offer it over all this chaos. Every country is in the chaos. Every country is fighting about left, right, up, down, dark. Ain't nobody fighting for light. I'm going to be honest with you. I can see that right here. But it's just that everybody is fighting for one thing or another that has to line up with the government, with the state, with the system, with the ambassador, with the everything. They just fighting in each country to take the people, trying to take away, to gain their rights. They trying to be in authority, trying to be into control. But guess what they're doing? They fighting. Guess what? I'm going to tell you what the Spirit told me. They fighting just to find themselves in captivity, in full control. That's what the one world system is. You're fighting your government. You're fighting in your country. You're fighting your military, your police department, all to bring it all into a oneness of captivity, which is a oneness of the world government. The world government, ain't the state or the United States. They bringing it into a oneness. Only way they can get it into a oneness, they got to let you fight till you fight your government, your state, your police department, your military. They got to let you fight till you can't fight no more. To where you look up and say, yeah, let's put us in all of one world something. Because the only way this is going to end is they put you into a one world system. You see? That's how they're going to get it into a one world system. So when you hear about France and you hear about United Kingdom and London and Portland and Ireland and Australia and Newport, Palestinians, Jordan, over in Europe, in the United States, over in Israel, all of this is about bringing everything into a oneness. But you can't bring it into the oneness until each country is in a situation where they're going to need someone to come in the center and bring everything into a oneness. This shows you that the police department and the military is going to be useless. It's going to be vain and vast. Because each country's, their military is going to fall, their police department, their everything, their government, their state, everything going to fall. Because the people are going to be fighting against the system. They own the system. So it's going to cause them to hear something that's going to bring everybody into a oneness. And everybody going to say, yes, we want to take that oneness, not knowing that the oneness means one control. You see? So I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like saying, this is a lot of people out here protesting. I mean, all different continents and different countries. This is even over in Africa. Everybody is protesting, but it's all is detached to bringing everything into fold, into that one word system. You know, you can get in a situation that's so bad to only way out is to bring everybody into a oneness, into a oneness of agreeing that this is going to step in and rule over. So this is what everything is going into right now. Is that one world government, you know, and it's a one world system. And even when we see BRICS, and we thinking that's something about, oh, this country, this country, this country. No, they talking about coming into a one world system, and all the countries gonna be against it as far as the people, but they gonna let them battle each other and be without until you see the only thing that's good for you is to be in that system, that oneness of what they really got behind the closet. I was talking to you all about, I think my last video or the video prior, that Charlie Clark Kirk, and about how that's a hit, assassination hit from Israel, same way they did with Kennedy. That was the same kind of hit. And we know that it wasn't a hit from a distance. It was a hit in how they covered it up. And I think about how long they covered that up for Kennedy. And then I'm sitting here, haven't been on here because I've been up. By the way, the wedding was beautiful. Everything turned out great. And guess what? I'm going to upload at least 2 or 3 videos so you all can see somewhat of my son's wedding. Okay. And I have to wait until I get all the pictures in and get everything situated, but I will do that. But what it came to me regarding this Clark, this Charlie Kirk, is the Spirit said something to me, and for a minute I wanted to cry, but then again the Spirit, I remind myself of what the Spirit say. Don't give them your tears. Don't shed your tears for them. Don't shed your tears for the ways that people conduct themselves and is. No, don't get caught up in people who you think that's following you, that might like your videos or might subscribe to you. Don't get caught up in them because they're not who you might think that they are. And this is what he said. He said, now, when you came on the day this young man died, you sat and you told them who did it. You sat and you told them the setup. You broke it down. You didn't make a big issue about it, but you broke it down. And he said, not one person that have subscribed to you or even saw your video. And he said, out of it, it's about 100 and something. Not one will pull up and say, Sister Deborah, they're saying that now. Exactly what you were saying. He was just showing you people are not who you want them to be, or you think that they can be, or you think that they are. And if they're not for me, they truly are against me, even though they might sit in the midst of me. This is what he's saying. Don't take them at face value, because you broke it down the instant I gave it to you. Not one comment to you or gave you a message, Sister Deborah. Not all of them said it. No one. No one. And it didn't even bother me. It didn't even dawn on me until the Spirit was showing me. Have anybody on your page message you? Guess what, Deborah? Now they saying it. Now they saying it like you saying it. And I said to him, not one. He said, see, you're in the midnight hour. Know that you're in the midnight hour. They hear, but they hear not. They see what the world is saying. They hear what the world is saying. But when he sent a servant to drop the message before you, and you still can't bring the confirmation, what is the confirmation? 99.15 trillion would know, especially everyone on this here on my channel would know. The confirmation is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit would have by now, this is what he was saying to me, if people are about who they portray that they are, not one came back and said, Sister Deborah, now they're seeing it, what you said the day he got killed. I made it loud and clear that the Spirit had told me. This is a hit from Israel. But you couldn't get not one person come back today. Why? It's because this is and has been a time of separation. People are not going to react to anything. They are so numb to everything, to where if the world told them, then, oh yeah, it's the world. The world, it said it on CBN, CNN, Fox, or it said it on this, and it said it on Instagram. They will go all over the world for what they feel they need to know today in the midnight hour before they hear the voice of those Yah is sending as his servant in spirit and truth and the light. Now, it bothered me to the point where I wanted to shed a tear, but Yah said, don't. For what? For what? I was shedding a tear because he was bringing it to my knowledge that it is across the board, all over the website now, that it's Israel. But he said when it happened to him, you instantly brought the video and told him who it was. But now it's all in the opening. Clearly seen. He's just showing me, see, even my servant can bring light in the midst of darkness, and darkness still won't comprehend. Even when you thinking light is on your platform, be careful, be cautious. Don't take them at face value. They're in and out, out and in, up and down, and all around. Don't take them at face value of what you think people are. Because in this day and time, everybody is really playing a role. And why are they doing that? This role make them feel good in the flesh, that they can run off. You ask them where your lane at. Don't you need a lane to run in? You ask them what is your purpose? A running period. They don't know. What is your position in the spirit? They don't know. They don't know nothing. Because that's the beginning and that's the end. Nothing. And in this day and time, you got to be, as the light, just be aware of your surroundings and people who tune in, and don't take them at their face value. Don't take them for who they are, who they say they are. Take them for their actions and how they speak. Because through spirit and truth do you speak that which is in the light. And that comes from the Ruach. They're not speaking it. And they're not receiving it. I sit back and I see all of this destruction in the land. And it seems like everybody having a Wayne Dang Doodle time. Mm-hmm. Everybody's getting so fascinated with all the stuff that's actually taking place. No one is putting it in its right perspective and realize, wait a minute now. He about to swoop the coop on us. And people ain't nowhere near his right hand. Nowhere near it. And that hand about to move and they ain't nowhere near it. They playing people, the prophet she was talking about earlier, it's a flesh thing. And it is so heavy on the earth. It is such a flesh thing. Everything they are doing is measuring under the guideline of the flesh. Now you would think, well, okay, if we're telling you that people are going to change. No, did they change in the days of Noah? In the day of Lot? No one has that fear of Yah. And that fear of Yah don't have you. Because if the fear of Yah is in you, you're going to walk even in that fear, like you fear he that created all things. But today, in this midnight hour, they could give a rat's behind about the fear of who he is. And that fear is a spirit that he puts in us. Like he puts belief, he puts righteous, he puts faith. It's a spirit that he brings in us. People walking around here portraying holier than thou and content and feel good too. Because they have truly convinced themselves. They waiting for the next message of what's going to happen here, there, and here and there, and they now one of them can tell you if they got a lane. Now one of them can tell you what the Ruach HaKodesh said to them this morning. Now one of them can tell you, well, what is your position in the body of Hamashiach? What is it we are to be doing right now? They can't tell you. Why? Because people are playing the role in the flesh, and they're not lining up in the spirit. Because that's where the body of Hamashiach is at work, in the spirit, and not in the flesh. So this young guy, Charlie Kirk, I think that's his name, that was assassinated. Broad daylight. It's so many signs telling you that it was the work of those who rule the four continents. And it was signed off as assassination from Israel. It is. And like I say, the father had to reveal it to me. Well, why haven't no one on your page commented and said, Sister Deborah, now they said it. All of them said it now. He said, because they always put him down at the bottom. And if they put me at the bottom, they put him already. They put him at the bottom already. That's in everything they say, do, think, and feel, and how they conduct themselves. They're not going to put themselves at no bottom level. They're going to keep themselves up above. But they're going to keep everything at a bottom level so they can feel fulfilled in their flesh with their everyday lifestyle and the way they thinking, feeling, and conducting themselves. No lane. They ain't got no lane to run in. You ask them, well, what was your purpose in the body? They don't have now. What is your works? Where's your labor? We supposed to be doing something today. See, that's what you call laboring and work and fruits of the spirit. They don't have anything. But they get on here and they can even judge you out of what they don't have. You see? They can even try to the point where they feel they can measure you. And they have nothing. Not even a lane. Not even the Ruach. And that's where we're at today. What's going on today? That's what's going on. The same thing, but worse. They are protesting all over the world just so they can get in line with the one world system. The one world system cannot take place as long as each country is separate to itself. And then their government is separate from their people. They got to let the people get in full control of the system of their government, of their country, so that they can come in as the power punches of the one world system. And that's when the full martial law and so on will take place. And if we are, some people said, we're just now going into tribulation. You just now being lost as lost can be. Tribulation been taking place. You just never been on the bandwagon. Yah is not one to sit here and procrastinate on what he says. He says what he means and he means what he says. He don't have to fall under our order and our category. He has his servants speaking on his behalf, not over succeeding and overriding him, but speaking on his behalf. And what's in front of him, what's in the back of him? Long suffering. What else? Endurance. Because when you know that he's speaking it to you, and then you go out here and you begin to speak it to others, and people are lost with the cause and without, then you have to long suffer the thing that he has spoken unto you. You just got to hold that thing within and keep running. All this chaos that's actually taking place and it's actually going on, and it's all well now with me. At one time it was like, oh no, it's all well now. Because I honestly, based on what I'm seeing in the spirit line, people all over the place, just going to and fro. And ain't nobody seeking. When I say nobody, that don't mean everybody. But you've got very few seeking the light, speaking the spirit and truth. So Sister Deborah, what time do we have? Oh, it's 3:01. I was thinking about having a topic to come back at 8 p.m. Central Time, and I'm trying to see if Yah suffered me to. I will be back at 8 p.m. Central Time live. I'm going to seek Yah in what, or if there's something that he has that he can give me to bring forth a live at 8 p.m. Central Time. I really didn't want to, but I might. I'm going to feel this thing, and I'm going to wait for the Most High Yah. And if he says this topic or to talk about this, then Sister Deborah will be back at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I say unto you, shalom and shalom.